Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the HG Build Fighters ZZII. Now, although this is a Build Fighters kit, it really just feels more like an HGUC kit, to be honest, and especially because it's mostly the ZZII kit, now with just a handful of new parts, some new stuff here and there. So it's still really going to feel mostly like building a ZZII, but it just has some new elements to it. So that's cool. I think that's good. Good for Build Fighters people, good for people who don't like Build Fighters, who only like building HGUC stuff. And it's a fun kit for everyone. Now, it may not be a fun kit for everyone. I think the biggest complaint that a lot of people may dislike about the design is probably going to be those feet. They're a very standout feature of this kit. Those feet are very extreme. They're super pointy, super long high heels. I think that's like the most extreme high heels that we've ever seen on a Bandai kit. I would say that's probably a safe assumption to make without having to think too hard about that. They are essentially the same feet as on the ZZII, but they're now fixed at a different angle, at a more extreme angle. So on the ZZII, they weren't quite so tall. Now they're made to be like that. So they aren't going to sit flat on the ground. This kit is pretty much made to be up on a base. You can have it standing, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks kind of cool how we have this huge, big mobile suit. It's like really tall with all the guns in the backpack and stuff too, and then it's just like sitting on these like tiny little pointed feet. It looks kind of cool, but I think it's definitely going to look better like up in the air on an action base. So would have been cool if Bandai would have included one of their just simple bases for this kit, but you know, unfortunately we didn't. That's kind of okay, I guess. I don't know. It's not really a big deal. We do get a big old gun with this, which I'll show you again here in a moment, aside from all those cannons on the backpack. Unfortunately, the two cannons, not the center one, the two on the sides that are there on the backpack are just stuck there. I expected when we first saw this kit that you were going to be able to remove those and actually just use them in the hands, but unfortunately you're not. Those are just there as cannons on the backpack. If you get the Eastern weapons though, you get one of those with a handle that you can use as its own separate thing, but in this case it's only that. So I'll be reviewing the Eastern weapons very soon after this, after my review of the Gansalot, so you can see that a little bit later. Anyway, it's a cool kit, fun kit to build. It was definitely a lot of stickers on there, kind of. There's definitely some big color app stickers that are going to be, you know, always not really the greatest, but not the worst either. It's a lot of like vents and stuff like that, so I don't know, not too bad. It is kind of nice when you have HG kits that do have like those vent color details like actually molded in. Like a couple of them are on here, but it's, you know, can't always have it perfect. So let's take a closer look at the articulation. And again, just a big thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this kit to share with you guys. That's always appreciated. And yeah, I've never really been the big fan of the Zeta design. Double Zeta or the ZZII are kind of a little bit better in their own separate ways. So I think this one is kind of like the best version for me. I really like this one quite a bit because it's like the best of the Double Zeta and the best of the ZZII kind of mashed into one. So it works pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. I like the design. Head's going to go up to like there, nice and far up. I love that in a kit. Just to give you a look at the design there in the head. You can see we have a sticker for the eyes. It's actually two separate stickers for the eyes, so it's not like one that goes straight across the face there. It's two separate stickers. You have to stick those on there. One sticker there for the camera on the head. The red piece is also really interesting design here, and this is just like a red square like that, so it's really cool kind of design for that piece on the top of the head. These parts here on the front of the shoulders, we have yellow stickers inside the top and bottom of there. The chest vents, those are actually yellow pieces though. These kind of come off pretty easily, and that's like the same with the Master Grade Full Armor Double Zeta. I just remembered that, building that kit a long time ago, and having that same problem with that kit. But the shoulders are going to go up to about there. You can see just because of this part, it really can't go up too much farther than that. Green stickers there for those cameras on the front of the chest as well. That's pretty obvious. The head's going to go down to about there, very far down. It's going to be great for your kind of very typical like Zeta style poses like this with the head super far down. And yeah, so the shoulders are going to come out to the front, pretty much not a lot. You can get that out a little bit, and this part again is going to be just like crashing into stuff and falling off really easily. Just take a little drop of glue and drop it in there, and then that'll be nice and secure onto that shoulder armor. It won't be really a big deal. The other part that keeps falling off here on the hand is here. That comes off really easily. I'm pretty sure I built that correctly. So see, it looks like you should be feeding something like a peg through that hole to keep this securely in the arm, but there isn't anything there? There is, but it's way in there, and that's not like for this. So this is just supposed to be held in, but you see there's like two little slot pegs there, and then on the inside of this blue part, that's supposed to be just kind of held into there, but it's really not all that secure to press it in there. But it does pop out every now and then. So again, that one, just put a little glue in there and it'll be fine. The elbow is going to give you more than 90 degrees, not a whole lot more. You're going to get some spinning here at the top of the arm, of course. The waist is going to go forward and back a little bit, not really a whole lot, side to side a little bit, not a whole lot. You have this huge piece sticking out the front, and which also has this huge piece sticking down straight into the bottom there as well. And then the skirt armor, you could separate that, but the way this skirt armor is designed, you can separate it, but just be a little bit careful. You have to cut it in a specific way. I haven't done it yet for mine. Let me just pull this off to show you here. So just cut it straight down here in the middle. Just be careful, don't to cut it here in that sort of recessed area. Just cut it straight in the middle, and then that should hold in here fine. That just connects onto there like that, and then you have this new piece which connects onto there. You can put this back on there. Right, so moving on, the side skirts are actually connected to the side of the leg. So those are just there on these little polycap ball joints, just plug into at the top of the leg. Back skirt's interesting. Here's another big yellow sticker there in that vent in the center, and these parts will kind of move like flaps like that. They can rotate up and down. They're connected, so those will rotate up and down like that. Kind of cool thing there. It's different. The legs are going to rotate at the top. You're going to have a bend in the knee like so. This knee piece will move a little bit like that as well. Red sticker on the end of that. These vents here in the legs are molded details, but around on the back of the legs, those red squares there, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 stickers on each leg. They'll just go on the back of the leg like that. So just getting back to the knee bend here before I got sidetracked. The knee will give you a very far bend there, but that's just a nice knee design, but also part of the transformation. I think you are just going to kind of need that there. If you kind of move stuff around, you can get a really nice bend there in the knee. So there's that, and then down in the ankles. The ankle is very weird just because of how this foot is designed. The foot will move like very, very slightly, not really much at all. So we have a new piece. See this gray piece in there for the ankle? That was a different piece for the ZZII. Now you have this new one that kind of keeps this fixed. So with the ZZII, you had the option of making this farther apart to stand so that this red part could be flat on the ground. But with this one, you don't have that option just because of this new gray piece that keeps it fixed in this very high position. So that's going to bend. You can see that bends like way up in here, and like the middle of the leg is where that's actually attached. So this whole part will bend like that, and then you can move that side to side a little bit and rotate that a little bit. But anyway, so very interesting feat there. Just going around back to the backpack, the center part is going to move like so. You can actually point that cannon straight over the head if you want. There's a point of articulation there, and then farther down there, so that will move quite a bit. For these cannons, you can bring these up, but they're going to be a little bit blocked by hitting this part of the shoulder here. But if you had the arms pointed down, you could have these pointed kind of forward like so. And then we have attached onto there, this whole thing also moves. So this whole moves, that moves, and this moves separately. The side part and this flap moves up and down like that, and you can rotate that and all of that. So lots of stuff moving there on the backpack. So to line all that up, you can. Oh, and I almost forgot, there's these things here that will also move. This little tiny things like that. So stuff moving kind of all over the place. You can get all this stuff pointed forward like that if you want to do some serious blasting. So aside from the holding hands that let me just put that down there. Aside from the holding hands we have on the kit, we also have 2 trigger finger hands, which are really not going to be of any use in this kit because the only gun that we have is this big huge thing, which doesn't have a trigger on it. It just has a regular handle. You're just going to use the holding hand there on the kit to just attach onto that. We have a green sticker there for the camera. I forgot to mention we have green stickers for the cameras of these cannons on the back as well. So this is just going to plug onto the back of the arm. You can see there's a small little notch on there. It plugs into here. That handle goes into the hand, and that connects like that onto the back of the arm. Nice and secure, and there's pretty much not really anything else to that. It's just a really super long rifle. You can see that is going to be attached onto there like that. We do also have, put you down again there, we do also have 2 beam saber handles and beam saber effect parts. There's nowhere else to stick the handles when they're not in use, so just kind of just keep these around. We have a bunch of extra parts that are going to be used for the transformation as well. I will transform this and let you guys see what that's going to look like. And we also have, just among the extra parts that we're not going to use, we have almost a full rifle here. It's just missing the part for the handle. So if you could scratch build a handle, or if you have any extra handle pieces laying around from other kits or something, then you got yourself a whole new rifle here as well. But otherwise, that's just kind of extra part. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could really do with that. Just for a size comparison, here it is with the Gundam local type, which is going to be an average Gundam size, around 18 meters tall. The ZZII, obviously going to be towering over that just because of those long feet, just the long legs in general, the backpack. It's going to be very, very tall kit, very long kit, you could say. So as I said before, up on a base is probably going to be your best bet as a way to display this kit. There's a lot of really cool things that you could do with this. I would actually really love to work on this kit some more sometime in the near future if I didn't have like a million things already lined up on my desk, but this is a really cool kit. I'm really quite pleased with this. So just want to say a big thank you again to MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this kit, because I'm very, very happy with this. The other thing that I forgot to mention is that there are a couple extra stickers there on the sides of the backpack, on those like side wing binders on the backpack there. There's a couple of big gray stickers that are just going to be covering like that kind of joint part there. Yeah, not going to be the hardest thing to paint, just masking that part. It's a pretty square block part that will be easy to mask that. But again, would have been nice if that was an actual gray piece for that connection there in the center, but you know, it's okay. Alright, so here's a look at the kit transformed into its Wave Rider mode. I didn't want to bother showing you guys the actual transformation process on camera. There's really not too much of a point to that, and it's kind of takes a while. You basically have to take everything off the kit, then put it all back on to like the extra parts that you have. It's just a parts former, so you are going to have some extra parts left over. Like this is what's left over of the Gundam after you kind of take everything off of it. So yeah, it's a pretty cool transformation though. I'm not really too big into transforming mobile suits. I think usually the Wave Rider mode is not too appealing for me. In this case though, I think it does look pretty good in its Wave Rider mode. So yeah, I don't know if you like this. This is certainly something that you can do with this. So that's pretty much going to be it for the HG Build Fighters ZZII. All around a pretty nice kit. We have a couple parts falling off here and there kind of easily, similar to the RG Shinanju. But again, with that and with this kit, it's nothing that can be easily fixed with a little drop of glue here and there. So yeah, that's perfectly fine. Again, the color apps for this kit, again, there is some missing color apps that you are going to do some masking, are going to have to do some masking on, but those as well shouldn't really be too hard to mask, so won't really be too big of a problem there either. As far as seam lines go, I didn't really get too much into that. There are a few seam lines here and there, but nothing really too much. I think nothing really all that worth worth noting. The seam lines that it does have are going to be pretty easy to get rid of. It is a very angular kit. There aren't that many curved areas, so just places where it's just flat angles or just flat surfaces are always easy to get rid of some seam lines there. So it's pretty much going to be it for this review, guys. Hope that was helpful. Personally, as far as the colors go, I'm not really a big fan of the colors. That's kind of the one thing that I don't like about this kit. I'll definitely be changing the colors up whenever I get around to painting it. So yeah, we'll have to see at that time. If you have any other questions or comments about this, let me know down below. And otherwise, just see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.